Testament of Anne Lee, directed by Mona Fastvold, whose previous film, The World to Come, I quite enjoyed. This was co-written by her and Brady Corbett. It is based on the real-life story of Anne Lee, the founder of the Shaker religion, which is a sect of Christianity. The film is somewhat based on historical documents, but also clearly takes liberties, even by virtue of the fact that it is actually a musical, or at least partially a musical. It stars Amanda Seyfried, Lewis Pullman, Thomasin McKenzie, Christopher Abbott, Stacey Martin, and Tim Blake Nelson. The film is split into 3 chapters. The first one follows Anne's early life growing up in Manchester and first getting interested in the Quaker religion. The second part is mainly about the journey to America on board a sailing vessel in order to set up a community in the New World. And finally, the third one is about becoming the true spiritual leader and kind of messianic figure for the Shakers, as well as the prejudice and persecution that they faced. So, sadly, this is one of those movies which are very clear to me that they contain an immense amount of passion and care and craftsmanship when it comes to recreating the world of the past in terms of things like costumes, sets, language, accents, hairstyles, furniture, but end up ringing hollow because they fail to engage me emotionally. In the case of this, it felt a bit like going through a museum or reading a flat Wikipedia article about a historical person. Just a number of events without a particularly personal look into the character or giving me a reason to care. I think part of it is that the movie feels like it deliberately wants to cast no judgment. It doesn't really paint the Shakers as either infallible and utopian nor as religious nutters. It just shows you what presumably happened and leaves you to make up your own mind about it. But again, the result is that it feels difficult to feel anything about any of the characters, not just Anne Lee herself. There's a lack of distinct personality given to the people or a reason for us to connect with them. The singing and dancing is fairly good, as far as I can tell. The choreography of the dancing can be sometimes impressive, although some of the prayer songs were a bit exhausting to me. I think the singing montage on the ship is beautifully edited and just exhilarating. I liked Amanda Seyfried in the lead role. On the other hand, I thought most of the supporting cast, amazing actors that they are not really given too much to work with. And also, the sequence in the forest with the man looking for a good location to make their home is so completely out of place with its tone. It feels like a Monty Python skit, bordering on self-parody, which is weird in a movie that otherwise is played straight. So, I appreciate the craft that went into it, but I didn't like it as a story or as a film. I thought it felt rather flat for me.